The third model, the third framework is the multi-attribute attitude models. Here it examines the attitude in terms of a selected product attributes or the belief. So multiple attributes of the product is considered for evaluation. We selected these three fishbin models: attitude towards the object, attitude towards the behavior, and theory of reasoned action model. So this third model has a three different subset. However, if I had to give you a simple example, that you are considering, you have moved to a new locality, suppose, and you are considering selecting your dry cleaner for a long term. So you have a dry cleaner, you have identified 3-4 dry cleaners. Now that 3-4 dry cleaners, you have multiple attribute on which you will evaluate: neatness, the service, the close proximity to your home, price, etc. So you will examine them on these multiple attributes. So that's what the multiple attribute model. Your mind will rank them. Your mind will tell you that this is a guy is a better, etc. But in behind there is this weightage, and there is this ranking, etc. that happens, that enables you to determine. So there are this subset that we will try to understand. Attitude towards object model, suitable for measuring attitude towards a product or a specific brand, as the name suggests, attitude towards object. Or attitude object, as we have earlier studied. So attitude towards object model, here specific object, that is product or a brand, that will be under formation of an attitude. Consumer attitude is defined as a function of the presence or the absence and evaluation of number of product specific beliefs or product attributes possessed by the product or a specific brand of the product. So now let's dissect that. It's not that I was reading, I am reading for you. Now let's dissect that. Function of the presence or absence, and evaluation of number of product specific. A function of presence or the absence of certain attributes, certain beliefs or the product attributes in a specific product or the brand. So that's how the attitude gets formed. So that's what the attitude towards object model. We are studying the multi-attribute model. In that, attitude towards object model is one, where the object is one, product or a service, multi-attributes, that the attributes of the product or the service, their presence or an absence will determine your attitude towards that product or the service. So that's the gist of it. Consumers have generally favorable attitude towards those brands they assess as having an adequate level of positive attributes. So naturally you will be positive towards those who have expected multiple attributes by you present in them. So then only they will come under your positive frame of mind and the evoke set, etc. So that's a given of the attitude towards object model. The next this thing is the attitude towards behavior model. So there's a second subset under multi-attribute models that we are studying. The focus of this model is that individual's attitude towards behavior or acting in respect to the object rather than the attitude towards the object itself. So let's understand this. Is the individual's attitude towards behavior or acting with respect to the object. So he doesn't evaluate the attitude object, but it is like his overall evaluation about the object in general that determines his behavior. So my attitude towards say pregnancy kit or the other pregnancy kit, it is not that I evaluate. My attitude towards why should one use pregnancy kit? Only when you do wrong things you have to need, right? That's how I argue it. So my overall attitude towards that object itself is not favorably poised. Okay, somebody, my friend may say, "Arey, aaj ke din mein available hai, so why not?" Types. So that's how the attitude, this thing towards the. So my behavior is governed by the object, not rather the product or the brand in question. Attitude towards behavior model is that it seems to correspond closely to actual behavior. Then does the attitude towards object model. Purchase of BMW car at the rate of 2 crores. So may sound irrational, but it's like people are doing it. People are buying that costly car. So my attitude towards object may be not favorable, but attitude towards the behavior. I may say, if he has a capability, why should he not buy? So that's what the whole thing is to do with the overall behavioral affective state that I am into for a particular object, not about particular product or the particular attitude object, so to say. Bit of a wordplay, but please understand appropriately. Now, friends, we will study this framework called Theory of Reasoned Action Model. It is given as a fourth model overall under the understanding of the attitude, but it is also a third model under the multi-attribute model. If you see, this is where we came. The multi-attribute model is a three selected different fishbone models. So, Theory of Reasoned Action Model. Theory of Reasoned Action Model is also represented as the fourth framework or a model overall under the understanding of attitude. It's an integrative since it takes the cognitive, affective, and connotative component in consideration. So this is the model framework which considers the collective this thing of all the three components of a attitude formation. Behavior can be traced back to the intention to act, which itself results from the consumer's attitude towards the behavior and subjective norms. So result is, now it goes into the reverse this thing where the cognitive this thing which is the behavioral aspects, which says that the behavior is a result of attitude towards the behavior. So that's an affective model this thing, and then from there this is a subjective norm in the sense it gets formed because you have a cognitive capabilities in you. So theory of a reasoned action, reasoning is there behind your proposed action. So that's what this theory is all about. Attitude towards the behavior represents the overall favorability towards the purchase. So your overall, you have become favorable towards the purchase. So that's a cognitive component, this thing that has been discussed out here. However, subjective norm influence the intention to act. So subjective norm is all from the affective state and a cognitive state. So I have evaluation but which is incomplete and it's not allowing me to infer conclusively, or my past experiences not have been always good, etc. So I am little reluctant, as we say many times. So your behavioral this thing is though favorably poised, there are subjective norm which is the outcome of your affective component and a cognitive component hindering your final decision. So subjective norm has two components, favorable or unfavorable. So the subjective norm which is mentioned, you are either favorably poised or you are unfavorably poised. The predisposition is favorable or unfavorable. We can see all these three elements have an interconnection. So therefore, it's a theory of reasoned action model. Actual behavior is preceded by the intention, which in turn preceded by the attitude subjective norms. So actual behavior, which I take, is a base is there in the intention. Intention is out of the attitude that I have towards. So attitude is a towards the norm, or this subjective norm is my affective state. And affective state is possible only I have a cognitive this thing already done. Otherwise, if I have not done any cognitive understanding, my affective state will not come. We also learn that an intention predicts behavior better than the attitude. Intention is more important than the attitude, as they say. Of course, intention is a result of attitude, but understanding intention is far more practical, better than the understanding of the attitude. So that's where a bit of a understanding that needs to be there. Therefore, this is a theory of reasoned action model, as they say. There is a reasoning behind the action that you are taking, which is an intention led, but intention is a result of your affective state, and affective state is a result of your cognitive capability that you have already evaluated.